Okay, let's go through an analysis and break down call number 1.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Notice that in the dialer I use that it has a button for me to click real quick to review the property on Zillow. There's also a Google Maps button if I'm unfamiliar with the specific neighborhood. I usually give a quick view on Zillow to see a few photos while the call is dialing. You also have a few seconds to familiarize yourself so that you're not caught off guard by the seller.
Hello?
Yes, hi. My name's Tim with Keller Williams Realty. I was calling about your property for sale on Northwest 2nd Street. Is that home still available, or did you get it sold?
It just went on the market, so it's still available. We're having an open house on Saturday from 1 to 4.
Okay. And I know you've been getting a ton of calls, so I just had a couple quick questions about the house.
I have.
I'll be really brief. I'm sorry about that. Would it be okay if I just asked you a couple quick questions about the house?
Sure.
Okay, and let me ask you, are you cooperating with brokers if we have a buyer for the home?
If you have a qualified buyer, yes.
Notice I wait for a response when asking a question. I'm divorced from the outcome of the call so I can stay loose and be friendly. I don't care if they hang up. I'm just working towards the outcome of making it all the way through the script.
Okay, perfect. Well, I've got several buyers interested in your area. Is it okay if I add your property to our list of inventory?
Say that again?
I've got several buyers interested in your specific area. So is it okay if I add your property to our list of inventory to present to them?
Sure. Do you want me to send you the web page?
Nope, I've got it already. I've already taken a look at it. Can you tell me a little bit more about the house?
Sure. What do you want to know?
For starters, just like the basics, bedrooms and baths, but have you upgraded anything? Is there anything special about it that, like sizzle features or anything like that we can kind of add to, that I can present, I guess, to my buyers? Yes.
Did you see the photos?
I did. I'm looking right at it. Very nice, by the way.
Okay.
Did you do that yourself?
Yeah, well, I didn't do the photos. No, I'm not going to say that. I did stage it myself. Okay, but we hired a professional photographer.
I was going to say it looks professional. This isn't normally what I encounter if I have a seller that's selling on their own. So, yeah, you must have been a real estate agent in a secret life. Right.
No, I did all my homework. And it's not my first time to sell a house, okay? So I'm pretty well versed on, how to make your house look the best. So
yeah, you did a good job. I'll tell you that.
Real estate. Thank you. I took a page out of y'all's book and said, okay, this is how you do it.
Well, excellent. So, is there anything else you could tell me about it that I know you've written a tremendous amount here that I'm looking at. I was just wondering if there was anything else that you could say.
It's got a new AC inside and outside. Okay.
Okay.
That's been that's Lindstrom. Okay, and professionally installed, of course. And that was I think that was either 2021 or 2022. Because it went out on my husband's birthday, and we had it put in September. So I know that was brand new. The patio, when we had the patio poured, we did put a 14 feet out from the bathroom. We put a house footer in. We had a house footer poured. That way, if somebody ever wanted to extend out the master bathroom, they could. The footer is already there. Okay. other than the outside is just amazing, especially at night.
Yeah, it is. The landscaping is beautiful too.
Yes, my husband is the landscaper, and we've been here since 1999, and we just have meticulously kept this property up. We redid both the bathrooms. The guest bathroom, the blue and white one, was just recently completed December of 22. So that's brand new.
Isn't that funny? I did the same. I did the same thing too. I had lived in my house for 15 years, and then I finally updated it right before we sold it. And then I was like, oh man, I wish I'd done this before, because I really like this.
Listen, that was the last thing that I was upgrading, and I said, I'm done after this.
See how them telling you about the property builds rapport? We're in complete rapport right now, and I barely said anything.
And let me see. Gosh. The roof is done by R.J. Chambers. It's a Spanish S tile, which is one of the strongest roofs that you can put on. Had zero leaks, zero issues with this house. Upgrades. Let me see. Besides, we've got Hansgrohe fixtures in the kitchen and the master bath. And then in the new guest bath, only the faucet is Hansgrohe and the other is Pfister in the shower. The windows are all American Standard. I hope that's saying that right. American Standard double paned and Miami-Dade code. The hurricane slider in the back going to the patio is PGT. Let me see, brand new garage door opener.
I love the fact that, I don't know if your husband's a gun guy or maybe you're a gun lady, but I love the fact that you have that safe built into the closet like that.
Compliment their work. People like to be acknowledged and admired. Total rapport now that she starts talking about herself.
Listen, I am a professional firearms instructor since 1988.
Okay. Yep.
And so I have to have access to my firearms when I'm most vulnerable, which would be at night.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? You can tell we're both gun people, because that's the one thing that I'm like the most amazed at. It's the one thing I'm like, oh, look at that. But it's great how you put it, because a safe is kind of tough. Like, what do you do with it? Where do you put it? It's big, it's heavy, and the way you incorporated that in there is absolutely amazing. The whole thing is amazing. I'm actually quite impressed. This isn't normally how they look. So, well, let me ask you, I'm just curious, when the home sells, where were you planning to go next? Are you staying local or leaving the area?
Oh, we're relocating about 2 hours north, and we're building our final house.
With rapport built, I can now ask her anything and get away with it.
Where are you going, to Port St. Lucie or a little north of there?
Hell no, we're going to Brevard County. So
okay.
We're going to we're going to Sheriff Ivy, we're going to Brevard County, where they have real law enforcement, okay?
You know what's funny? I actually see his videos. I don't know if you've ever seen those before, where they do the presentations and everything.
Cool.
Yes, of course. Well, what's up there? Is it a like family or a job change?
Job change.
Okay, excellent.
Job change.
Well, let me ask you. How you're asking $800,000 for the home? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
We would like to get as close to that as possible.
Okay. Well, you did a good enough job on it. Let me ask you, how did you determine the pricing for it?
Listen, mister, okay? My next door neighbor, right next door to me, that house sold for $725,000, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I have looked online. I have seen what is in the market right around me. I've looked at some shit on the MLS, which I am amazed that realtors actually will list this looking at the house and it looks like hell. Okay.
See how she's making her house the exception? Also, see how I'm smiling and happy? They can see that through the phone, so the question isn't threatening.
Because they didn't take their client by the hand and say, hey, declutter your crap, clean it up, do something with it. Hey,
right.
Like,
and I already know that you do your homework, so I know you didn't just pick it out of the air, right? So
No, I looked around. Absolutely. I said, hey,
let me ask you.
What? We have the best location. This lot is amazing. Go ahead. Ask away.
It is.
Let me ask you, my favorite phrase. You see how I use that pattern interrupt to help questions cut through with full attention? I use the phrase before almost every new question I ask.
It's big. So let me ask you, if I have a buyer who wants to make an offer on your house, is there any flexibility in the price?
Yes, we have flexibility in the price.
What do you think the best you could do on that is, if they're ready to go?
I am not going to, you know what? Now you're crossing the line, okay?
Well, I might have someone interested.
I understand, but I am not. Just bring me your best offer, because I have 2 other offers, and I told everybody, I'm going to wait at the end of my open house to make a decision. After that, we writing up a contract, and we're out of here. My little
and that's how I like to do it too.
We're gone.
Well, since you're selling it on your own, do you think it would be possible if they were ready to write an offer? Do you think it'd be possible to come off by maybe $25K or so?
That's a possibility.
You see how that sequence works like clockwork? Note the tonality and slightly forward lean and downward tone, as if I'm telling her a secret. It makes them pay stronger attention.
We'll just leave it at that. That's just a possibility.
All right. Of course.
And
until you see something in writing, I understand.
Until I have a damn anything in writing. See, I'm all about to show me the money, show me the offer.
Yep, I'm with you. And that's how I work too.
I'm that way.
And it's not mean, it's efficient.
I'm from Texas, so this is how I roll.
Right. I think that you have a great house, and especially after talking to you, I think you probably can get it sold. And you're putting the time in, you put the effort in.
No, honey, I know I can get it sold.
Notice how I get right back in rapport after the last section.
Mm-hmm. I have something.
How much is a buyer willing to give up?
You've already come this far on your own. You've done the hard work already. I have something that might actually help you, because I do think you can sell it on your own. It's a video that's going to show you, because now you've already done the photos and you've put it in the MLS, you've got it in Zillow. I've got a video that'll show you how to set up and schedule your own showings, because that's the next step in your process, is setting that up and managing that. It'll show you how to qualify your buyers. You don't want a bunch of random unqualified people coming to your house at weird random times for weeks on end. It'll show you kind of what marketing.
No. We're having one. Listen, we're having one open house. After that, I'm making decisions.
Okay.
It's happening this weekend.
I suspect it will too. It's a video I'm going to say, and there's no catch. So it'll show you how to, you've already done all the upfront work. It'll just kind of help show you as a sale by owner how to set up the rest of the way.
Did you notice how I go right back into the script right where I left off?
And also, I can send you a link to my marketing page that shows you all of the marketing that I'm using. You're halfway there as it is. It'll give you kind of an idea of the marketing tools and techniques to attract like the highest paying and most qualified buyers in today's market. And the reason, because you're asking, well, why would you want to help me sell it on my own? Aren't you a real estate agent? I want to help you with that because there's a good chance you probably will sell it. But if for some reason in a month or so something went wrong and then you decide to list with an agent, I want to be that agent. Does that make sense?
See how I answered the silent question in her head of why would you help? What's the catch? I pre-answer this question to build rapport and keep that hidden question from getting in the way of rapport later on. I want to keep her reactionary defensive response from coming back for the rest of the conversation.
Everybody wants to work with me.
Yep. Well, especially after talking to you.
I'm the fun homeowner.
And with your permission, I'll follow up in a week or so just to see how you're doing, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
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 Now,
thank you. Okay.
Let me ask you, I'm just curious, what was your thought process on deciding to sell it on your own without an agent? You're doing a heck of a job. I was just curious what your thought process was.
Because this is not my first rodeo. I've sold
Okay.
my house before, not this one, but I've sold houses before and purchased houses for sale by owners. So it's not my first rodeo.
Okay, so you figured why just save some, why pay the commissions if you can just save the money, right?
Correct.
So it isn't really anything against agents or commissions as much as just simply netting the most amount of money.
I know y'all
Okay.
are out there to make a living.
Notice how her answer was neither about agents or commissions or saving money, which are the typical answers I hear. So I had to reframe or bridge her answer because it's always about the net proceeds or getting the highest amount of money possible with a for sale by owner for one reason or another. However, her answer that she gave wasn't the typical answer, so I had to reframe it or bridge it to the answer that it actually is, or that our script is designed to deal with. And in the end, it is always about the net proceeds with a for sale by owner.
All right, now I get that. So let me ask you, if there was a financial benefit to working with a broker, would you consider that option?
Yeah, you going to pay me to work with you? I'm damn good at singing.
I'm almost about to recruit you to my team.
I'm a lot of fun.
So
I'm not
going
licensed,
back
but damn, I'll get it there.
You see how we're laughing together throughout the call? Build rapport and speak as if you've known each other forever.
Right, I believe you would. And going back to commissions and everything, when you first decided to sell on your own without an agent, because you've done this before too, you're probably thinking in terms of saving 6% on the commission, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's a pretty substantial amount, and it at first glance makes a ton of sense. But what it actually looks like, though, when you break it down, though, is you're still paying a cooperating buyer's agent 3%. You've already spent 1 to probably 1.5% marketing the property, put it in the MLS, social promotion, all the digital and the rest. What that really means is you're actually only saving about 1.5% in the commission when it's all said and done.
You see how I lean forward again and lower my tone like I'm revealing something or telling her a secret? I'm using my hand as a timing meter, just like I'm doing now, like a metronome keeps time for musicians. It's a specific timing and meter that I use, which causes them to listen more closely.
And in the case of your house, that's what, $14,000-$15,000 right there. But
are you
you've
kidding
taken
me?
on the job of a listing agent.
I spent $600 on my web page and my photography. The best
Let me ask you,
I ever spent.
Did you put it in the MLS yet?
No, I'm not. It's not
You
even going to
probably
go there. If anybody,
when I send you the video and stuff, it'll show you kind of how to do that. That's probably one step you will probably need to do to expose it to the widest amount of potential buyers out there. Just because 95% of buyers in the market are working with agents, so you want to make sure those agents see the property. But
I'm adopting an expert tone while giving her advice, but being careful not to make her wrong. If you make the seller wrong, you will immediately destroy the rapport that you've built.
And I tell you what, I got so many of y'all calling me, and I sent you all the web page. So if y'all aren't happy with what you see from what I'm giving you, and you don't think that you have a buyer that would be interested,
I actually might. I'm actually, with your permission, I think you are going to sell it. You're probably going to have some good action this weekend on it. And our conversation now is just an off chance, right? Just an off chance something bad happens, or
out in the atmosphere. It's going out in the atmosphere that it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a positive selling.
Now, do you remember when I was asking you if you could come off the price, maybe 20, 25K or so?
You see how when the conversation goes off to Pluto, I bring it right back to the next line of the script.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
Now, when you were selling on your own, you're saving about $15,000, right? When it's said and done. But keep in mind, in that negotiation, although you held your own pretty good, I'll give you that, better than most people. But you might have been willing to give up like $25,000 in less than 3 minutes. And it's my job, if I do work with you in the future listing it, it's my job to negotiate any buyer or their agent up to your asking price. Every penny of it.
This was a quick, hard pitch to move beyond simple rapport and sell her on me specifically and how I might be useful. This will be in her mind when things don't go as smoothly as she thinks over the next week or so.
And that being said, could you see how you might actually make more money working with an agent like me and be able to turn all the unpleasant work and marketing and the budget for that stuff and really send it over the top?
Do you think that I'm let me ask you a question. Do you think that I'm unpleasant to work with in person for a buyer standpoint?
The unpleasant work that you have to do, not unpleasant working with you, but the unpleasant work that you'll have to do in the near future.
I never have unpleasant work. I never have unpleasant work. It's a chess game. It's a chess game. It's what it is. Of course. It's chess. It's moves and
Let me ask you, if it, like a game or what's the Mockingjay where he's like moves and counter moves.
Yes, that's right.
If in the off chance that it doesn't sell, how long do you think you might try to sell it on your own before finally considering working with the right agent for the job of selling it?
Man, I know you're really I know everybody wants to work with me. I get it. This house sells itself. It's gorgeous. I get that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm going to say
I think it is too.
I'm telling you.
That's why I say That's why I say in the unlikely event, like a plane crash. But how long do you think you'd try? If it didn't, how long do you think you'd try before considering working with an agent?
I am going to actually have a contract after this weekend.
Notice I asked a question a few times to get the answer, even though she didn't want to give one. Ask a few different ways or rephrase, but get an answer. This keeps you in control of the conversation without overtly seeming like you're controlling the conversation.
Probably, yes.
Mark my words. Mark my words. I will have a contract. It'll be pending. So when you check next week on Zillow and it says,
all right,
you're going to go, damn.
I'm actually,
and I'm like, yeah.
I've got a big database. I'm actually going to send it out to some of my own people that are looking right there in that price range for a pool, waterfront, all of the features that your property has. And, so it probably will. Now, most of my listing clients who do start out selling on their own, if it doesn't sell right away, they usually wait about 1 to 3 weeks before listing with me. About 12 to 25% of people, though, selling on their own do actually end up selling on your own. Your house looks like it might be one of those exceptions, too, just because of the condition that it's in and the good work that you did presenting it. If you were going to, I do. I really do believe that. If you were going to list with an agent at some point, who would that agent be?
I don't know, because, I need an aggressive, no bullshit, pit bull agent. I don't need a candy cane, cream puff, pussy wussy, oozy woozy. I don't want that. Don't come back to me and go, oh, I really think this her house is only worth about $600,000. Because then I just delete you. Delete, and move
Of course,
on. Because I know exactly what I have in this house. I'm looking, that's what I look for. If I can't have a pit bull for a realtor, go away. Because that's what I'm looking for.
And remember what I said too. It's my job to get every penny out of that and be the expert negotiator to get them to come up to where we need them to be.
She just told me what she wants, which allows me to repitch her.
Where do I send this? I'm going to send, like I said, the link to all the marketing stuff I do just so you can reference it for yourself. Also, I'm going to send you that FSBO video to show you how to do all the showings and stuff if you have to set all that up and schedule it. What's a good email address to send that to?
You want my email? Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Okay, I've got that right here. I'm going to actually, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to get that over to you. I'll check in a couple of days, see how it's going. Now, you're setting up an open house and everything for this weekend, right?
Yes, Saturday. Yes.
Saturday. Do you know what times?
1 to 4.
1 to 4. Okay. So I'm going to actually shoot your house out to a few clients that I think this might be a really good fit. And so that would be a good time for us to take them and see the property during the open house. So,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because to be honest, I have a broken knee and I'm just not getting around the way I have used to. So I got crutches and an office chair.
Well, you're certainly accomplishing a lot with and being immobile like that.
Yes, right. Exactly. That's right.
I'll follow up in a couple of days just to see how it's going. Again, my name's Tim Brooks with Keller Williams. I'm going to send you a video. I'm going to send you the link also just to the marketing. It's a page that I use during my own thing, but it lists out all of the different stuff that marketing that I do when I list a property, and it might be a good, since you've already done as much as you had, you can just look at it, see which companies or whatever, and if it goes beyond this weekend, you can probably order some of that for yourself from the same company.
I repeated my name because they won't remember from the beginning of the conversation when I introduced myself, and I want her to associate it with the follow-up for sale by owner video and other items I'm going to send her after the call. I was able to pitch her a second time and then recap with her.
So it'll probably be helpful to you.
And do you want me to send you the web page that my photographer set up for me, and I can email it or text message it to you or whatever? Jimmy,
that would be great. That would be great because then I can forward that along to
you too.
Perfect. And I'll send you a quick text so you can reply to it, and then I'll forward that to my buyers.
Notice how I set expectations and got agreement for the follow-up. This makes it much more likely that they're going to take your call during the follow-up phase.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, cool.
Well, it was good talking to you. I'll follow up in a couple days or so, and then let's see how you're doing after this weekend.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, I appreciate it.
So this was a good case study for a for sale by owner that's just gone on the market within the last week or so. So the good for this call, there was great rapport. I was on script with little to no deviation. There was a solid follow-up agreement. The call was memorable for the seller compared to other agents, and it was fun for the caller. The bad on this call, there was no close at the end for an appointment, and I may have reassured her just a little bit too much about her own ability for the sake of rapport.